and welcome to another episode of Hard Factor. It is Tuesday, October 1st. We made it to October, guys. Congrats.
Yes.
Love that.
September was a crazy month.
Yeah.
September's a tease month anyway.
It is.
In Austin, it might as well be called July.
Yeah, feels like August.
Yeah.
It's still hot there, huh? What's the temperature right now?
Just stop.
Right now?
Just stop asking.
Yeah, right now. Pat, tell me.
Stop being a dick.
In the garage?
Yeah, in the garage.
88. It's two showers a day temperature.
Yes.
It's you take your pants off and you're not happy with the smell.
It's in the 90s from about 10 a.m. till 10 p.m.
I almost killed both my dogs and my son while I take him on a hike today. That was a dumb idea.
Oh, I thought you just meant
responsible
out of
choice.
Frustration, like murder,
The
suicide.
heat
No.
makes him angry.
No.
Gotcha.
All right.
Anyways.
All right, and since we don't want to only talk about impeachment bullshit every day while this thing's going on, we're all going to take us through a long news buffet of all types of headlines, but we are going to kick it off first with Mark, who does have something about impeachment for us.
I was going to say, you just set me up for failure there because I am leading off with impeachment. All right, well, we have to give a quick impeachment update. We're not a lot happened. Actually, some stuff happened, so let's get into it. Mitch McConnell said he can't not accept an impeachment from the House and said the Senate would vote on whether to remove Donald Trump from office or not if the House impeaches him. I didn't realize that needed to be said out loud.
What news? I mean, what a story.
Why was that even like a thing?
He must
Who
have read our
broke that
blog.
story?
Yeah, like thanks for letting us know.
I read all the
Mitch.
media.
Anyways, that was one of the big updates today.
Yeah, that's
yesterday.
just how it works.
Right.
He has to do it.
Have to do it, otherwise
Yep.
that would be insane. Also on Tuesday morning, the Australian government confirmed reports that Donald Trump called their Prime Minister, Scott Morrison, and asked him to work with the U.S. Attorney General, William Barr, to find evidence for a review into the Mueller inquiry, basically saying, like, did they do anything wrong while they were doing the Mueller inquiry? Can you help William Barr out, Australia? For some reason, you guys can just team up and see if we need to go after Mueller and some of those guys. Yeah.
So,
Well, if they did do something wrong, we should know.
Yeah, I know, but it's funny. They did Australia, so now Australia's involved. Australia said the call had taken place and said Morrison had even agreed to assist. So probably going to be some more phone call transcripts coming out of the White House.
Australia was like, "There's a wallaby shit in the bush, mate. Of course, we're willing to help with the investigation." He was all about it. He's Trump's boys with that guy, right? What's his
Jumpy
name again?
Dogs, Scott Morrison.
Yeah, they're friends.
Exactly. Also, the House Intelligence Committee subpoenaed President Donald Trump's and Pat Cassidy's favorite personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani, for documents.
He's just the fucking worst.
Yeah. 3 Democratic panels, the Intelligence, Oversight, and Foreign Affairs committees, are demanding that Giuliani produce all text messages, phone records, and other communications, I guess like computer stuff, related to the scheme he is accused of perpetrating in order to determine like how far the extent of the effort of the president and his administration to use Ukraine to interfere in the 2020 presidential election was. So a lot of bad things happening for Trump.
These Dems hate a thriving economy, let me tell you.
But that's a nightmare for whoever gets Giuliani's cell phone because it's just nothing full of like long misspelled texts.
I hope that Giuliani
angry misspelled text to like news outlets.
Well, I hope that Giuliani this year got into emojis, so it's just nonstop gibberish and emojis.
The vomit emoji over and over again.
Good luck deciphering that. Lastly, for today's impeachment update, Donald Trump said in a tweet that if he is removed from office, a civil war might erupt in the United States. Now,
shit.
He was quoting Pastor Robert Jeffress, a Fox News contributor and host, who suggested, that same thing, that impeaching the president would lead to a civil war.
Well, it's religious.
Trump just took it and ran with it. The internet did not like that.
By the way, if you're going down, you know what I mean? You're definitely going to be stoking the Civil War fires because it's like, what do you have to lose? Not saying he's definitely going down. I'm just saying if I was going down,
I feel like that's what he wants
Jeffress
people to think.
right? Yeah, it wasn't me.
He didn't say it.
It was Jeffers.
Give him something to think about.
The internet did not like that comment at all, and it led to hashtag Civil War 2 trending all day Monday, which leads to us playing a little game we like to call What States Are You Drafting in Civil War 2? And since it's my segment, I will go first.
Well, explain the rules
Well, hang
first.
on. We will each draft one state and give a few reasons why. That's it. We
So
only have time for one state.
If there was a Civil War, it's the state that you would choose
First in your team.
to have your back.
There's 2 teams.
Okay.
One
Well, there's
versus
4
the-
in this one. There's 4
Sure.
presidents, and we're
4.
all getting our own state to start our revolution with.
This is a 4-way Civil War,
Yeah.
and my team goes first. And I picked Florida. Pretty easy choice for me here.
Good pick.
There are a lot of people in Florida. a large portion of which I would not consider to be pussies. So they also have like half of the guns in the United States.
Yeah.
And they just can also get on boats and leave if shit hits the fan.
Also, funniest headlines.
Yes, exactly. They're tough. They have guns. They have the sea. They can leave if shit hits the fan, or they could pull a Braveheart and fake leave, and then come around and flank you from the coast.
I like your
fuck you up.
I like your exit strategy coming into play with the state that you chose. It's smart.
It's just the best pick. So prove me wrong. Who's next?
I think I will prove you wrong, Mark, because I'm going with Alaska. You want to know why?
Really?
Well, yeah, really will, and I'll tell you why. Because Alaska is the most violent state.
Yep.
They have 804 violent crimes per 100,000 individuals a year. That's the most per capita. It is the most armed state.
Yeah.
It has the most dudes, and like you have the sea, we have the Bering Strait to Russia.
But the population
Right.
is lower than like Fairfax County, Virginia. For the whole
But
state.
not if you include bears, which I assume that we could train to fight in our
But
army.
Will, I mean, like, who's going out there? That's like going to war in Korea. Like, you're not going to fuck up Alaskans on their
Right?
turf.
Yeah,
but
you're
you're also-
isolationist. Out
What
there.
what Pat just picked is technically, even though it's ironic as the state, he picked like Sweden or Switzerland. It's like a neutral state. They're not going to be involved in the war at all. They're
Right.
just going to stay in Alaska.
You know how big a
You
Kodiak
don't win or
bear is?
lose. Yeah.
You think that there's any? No,
No one's going over there.
One Kodiak bear could
And your
kill.
Alaskans are certainly not coming
That was
to the
that was a
States.
waste of a
That's
pick.
fine.
What you
Come
got?
to
What you
us.
got, Wes?
Okay. No one's going to do that.
It'll be like
Korea.
Red Dawn.
Like Korea.
We know the territory, Russians.
You know, I was going to pick Alaska for a different reason. I was going to pick Alaska because I don't want to fight.
Wow.
I just want to not be involved.
Right.
But I'm going to go Texas
Yeah.
because
Clear second choice.
yeah, Texas. I mean, do
If
I
you
even
want to
need
win,
to run
if
that?
you want to win, you go
Clear
Texas.
second choice.
Yeah, you go Texas. I mean, there's guns, there's fucking cowboys. People know
Millions
how to
of
ride a
people.
fucking horse. And if shit goes down, you retreat to Mexico, where I'm sure you'll be treated very well. So it's
Great choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, Texas was my first choice for the win, obviously. But I'm going to go with my second choice, California, because you could chill there. You get weed's legal. You got a lot of Navy bases. But I want to cut, like, California's my pick. But Hawaii, Pat, if you're going to be isolationist, why not Hawaii? They have naval bases. You could chill. It's an island. It's beautiful.
Yeah, bro, but like Hawaii, you got to take like a 7-hour boat ride to get to after the airline stop. At least my pick is landlocked, and we have Canada in.
Will,
California,
California is a really pathetic choice.
Why is that? It's got
you're
a
not
lot of people.
It's
got,
the most
okay,
violent
First of all,
state
you
in the
got
nation.
tons of people, and you got the best technology.
Also,
you got,
during
you
the
got
Civil
Elon
War, I
Musk.
think the legalities of weed go out the window.
Is there even a single gun in California? I
Listen,
think that,
Wes, you're never smoking another blunt for the rest of your life, bud. Enjoy Texas.
In the Civil War, yeah,
You'll be back soon.
they're gonna batten up the hatches. You're gonna be fucking trying to smoke hemp.
In California, like what they're just like Russia in the winter with their shit on the streets. People can't like deal with the smell.
Look,
so they
my
just get, like,
first act as president of California would be to somehow put all the homeless in a different state.
Whoa,
wow.
it's their mecca, Will.
Yeah,
The
all
weather.
right,
is
I mean, I
perfect.
would rule with an iron fist. I'm telling you.
I guess so. Well, anyways,
Interesting things came out of this exercise.
there you go. That's our Civil War.
You don't want
draft.
to. Yeah, I'm a
That away
dictator.
from
Look, before we move on to another
Emperor Will.
Before we move on, all this talk about states is making me want to gamble. And you can gamble with us by signing up to Predict It, the stock market of the news, and getting a free. And you can also get a free $20 to do so if you go to www.predictit.org/promo/hardfactor20. And why did I mention states in the beginning of this? Well, that's because the 2020 election, state caucuses, and primaries are just around the corner, and you can bet on all of them on Predict It. In February, there are 4 states alone. February 2020, there are 4 states alone you can bet on.
So many caucuses.
Yeah, and primaries. There's some caucuses, some primaries. You can do Iowa, New Hampshire, Nevada, and South Carolina in February. The market I like the most right now is who will win the 2020 Nevada Democratic caucuses. Right now, the predicted market has Liz Warren as a 2.5 to 1 favorite over both Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders. She's at like 52 cents yes. They're both at 18 cents yes. Though both of those guys are pulling ahead of her in Nevada in particular in national polls. So that's really high.
Yeah. Yeah,
I know.
it's too high.
Will, you want to weigh in here
living,
with the?
Yeah, go
living
ahead.
in Nevada, hard
Thank
A.
you. The correct pronunciation.
Nevada.
Hard A. Living in Nevada, hard A. Biden has raised by far the most money in this state. So
Right.
I would say that he's probably a good value pick for the Dem caucus of Nevada specifically, but the party throwing him under the bus with this impeachment stuff is muddying that water. But
Bernie's
Warren
still-
is overvalued.
Bernie's still pulling ahead of her as well, though, and however you pronounce that state.
Do we,
Right.
I just want to
Right,
double
right.
clarify. This is the state where a dead pimp won the election
Correct.
posthumously, right? Okay, cool. Just check.
Yeah, they're not going to
R.I.P. Dennis Hoff.
pick a socialist Liz Warren there, but I did mention Bernie Sanders, same thing. So I would go no with her on 47 cents. That means just anyone else could win, and that's you'd more than double if she doesn't win. Or yes on Bernie or Joe Biden at 18 cents. That's what I would say.
Now,
But
Biden
anyways,
has raised the most by far in the state, but
There you
like
go.
I said, the DNC strategy here is
yes
kinda
on
fucking-
Biden at 18 cents or no on Warren at 47 cents in Nevada caucuses in February. Anyways, remember to sign up at www.predictit.org/promo/hardfactor20. It's fun. It's easy. If you read the simple rules of each market, you'll be able to play easily. You can also ask us questions. It's totally legal in all 50 states.
And we'll give you a free
to deposit
20.
and withdraw money. Yes, you get that free 20. I withdrew again today for the 5th time, so suck on that.
I didn't. I let my shit ride.
Yeah, it went straight to my checking, and I'm going to use it for booze and Ubers.
Those
So,
VP
boom.
those VP tweets are coming back, by the way.
Yeah, Wes is looking to make 1,700. He's flip-flopped on his advice to you guys, but he's kept his money in the VP,
Just
80 or more.
Do
so.
whatever you're gonna do.
Market manipulation. All right, guys. Saudi Arabia's crown prince, Mohammed bin Salman, was interviewed on CBS's 60 Minutes on Sunday, and he was asked some tough questions about his being a warmongering, journalist-murdering millennial. But at the top of the list was last October's murder and dismemberment of Washington Post journalist Jamal Khashoggi.
Yeah, I would imagine. I bet it was like, how are you doing today? Can you hear us? How about Khashoggi?
Yeah, did
Like,
you
just
murder
like
Khashoggi?
immediately? Yeah.
Yeah. MBS came out and he said, guys, he takes, quote, full responsibility for the murder as it was carried out by government officials working for the Queefdom of Saudi Arabia. He went on to say, this was a mistake, and I must take all actions to avoid such things in the future.
I wanted him maimed, not killed.
I wanted them just to disappear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
News.
what did anybody expect? Did they expect he was going to be like, oh, yeah, it was
did
me.
it.
I did it.
I did it. Lock me up.
I want to say it on CBS. Now, just so we're clear,
He's like,
guys.
how much is your gas per gallon now, huh?
You think I like being here?
Yeah.
When just so we're clear, when he says that such a thing must be prevented in the future, he means that he doesn't want internationally known journalists going into Saudi consulates in Istanbul to obtain marriage licenses and then to be subsequently tortured and disassembled by a hit squad laying in wait and then carried out in a whole set of luggage. He does not want that.
Yeah, he meant no one should be able to talk shit about him in the future.
Oh, that's why Khashoggi died.
Yeah.
So cool. He takes full responsibility, but when the 34-year-old was asked if he ordered or was directly involved in Khashoggi's murder, MBS chose to enact the time-honored Shaggy defense, saying, it wasn't me. This makes a lot of sense, guys, and I'll tell you why. The Shaggy defense, completely infallible. Also, Shaggy's 2000 hit by the same name, It Wasn't Me, was finally released in Saudi Arabia just last year.
Yeah, exactly. They just got it, and he thought that's a good defense.
Yeah, it takes a while for music to get there.
He looked the camera in the eyes. He goes, 10% of you drive electric cars.
Yeah.
Khashoggis will continue to die. You need me.
The CIA guys, they concluded factually that the Crown Prince did personally order the murder. That's what our government's saying. To which MBS said, really? That's so crazy.
Yeah, they used his favorite line of luggage.
Yeah, I would love to see that information. If you have it, you should totally make it public. That's so crazy, you guys.
Got MBS on the side
Yeah,
of it.
they got his personal brand of
Louis,
luggage.
it's Louis Vuitton dripping blood.
Yeah.
All right. That's a good one. All right, guys. This one is
That's how you know it was his.
Yeah.
It's an
Yes.
expensive brand of luggage, Wes.
That's right.
Yes. No, I know.
He's
I got it.
fashionable.
Do you?
Got it. All right, guys. This one is pretty heartwarming as a taxi driver in Coventry, England, is being hailed as a hero. You guys get that?
I didn't
Funny.
get it. I don't
Hailed.
get it.
Danny got it.
Hailed?
Hailed. He's being hailed like you hail a taxi. Come on.
Ah.
There it is. Yeah.
yeah.
After a sex trafficker.
Did you write that after your son was born? Because that's a fucking dad joke, bro.
No. Well, it is a dad joke, and I liked it. After a sex trafficker put a Romanian woman who was 3 months pregnant into his cab and told him to drive her to a nearby brothel where she was supposed to go to work as a sex slave. So the driver and hero, Tahir Mahmoud, notified police after the woman began crying and asking for help. And instead of being a piece of shit, he actually listened to the woman who was begging the taxi driver to call police.
Yeah, this
So-
is after she
yeah.
learned what the word
He's
brothel
like,
means
He's
in
like,
English.
where is the brothel? This is awkward.
They all know where
Left
they are.
here.
Yeah. So instead of telling her to shut up, he became a hero and actually listened and called the police, explained the situation to them. The woman, who was brought to London after answering an ad for work as a masseuse, was then held captive along with other girls at a brothel in London, was soon moved to Coventry, England, where she was forced to pose in lingerie for a sex site before she was to be moved to the new brothel, which I can only assume was advertising her pictures as one of the new girls that would be coming soon.
Yeah. Quick PSA for everybody listening. If a masseuse job requires you to move to a new town, it's a prostitution gig.
Yeah.
So
We got to change the word masseuse to prostitute in some of these countries that people are getting
That's
sex
a good
trafficked.
call, Will.
Yeah.
If they'll fly you out immediately, there's a red flag.
Yeah, if you have no training whatsoever as a masseuse.
If they ask if your family's still in touch with you, and then they are turned on to the answer of no.
This guy's a hero. Sex trafficking sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
But he definitely knew where the brothel was because he's a cab driver.
So he got her. She's safe.
she's safe.
The guy got arrested.
The guy was apparently fled. He was arrested and fled bail. They're now looking for him. He's been sentenced with 9 years even after he fled. The whatever sentencing or
jumped.
whatever. Yeah. So they're looking for his ass.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And here's the man.
hopefully they find him. Sex trafficking, not good. Well, the Annals of Internal Medicine, a well-respected medical journal.
Sure it's not annals?
The anals?
Annals, is it annals? Annals?
That's that Nevada accent.
I think there's an extra N in there. 'cause
Hard,
it's annals.
hard A, the Annals of Internal
the
Medicine.
Annals of internal
A
medicine.
well-respected
It's a
medical journal,
comedy-
mind you.
it's a
This is a
comedy
well-respected medical journal, mind
No, it's
you.
inside the butt.
Yep. They have announced a new study that says you don't need to cut back on red and processed meat to benefit your health. And as you may expect, the reaction on the left-leaning side of science has been less than agreeable to that finding.
Maybe it is the anals.
Yeah, coming from a publication that's essentially like Prostate Weekly.
Yeah.
Yeah, colonoscopy
This is
Today.
supposedly like a big-time journal. Stanford
is-
professor...
That is interesting, though. They said red meat's okay.
Yeah, he said, hey, I'll get into it. I'll tell you what
Just
they
like
said.
my mother said.
The reaction to this study, Stanford professor, though, this is the left-leaning side of science, Christopher Gardner, he said, quote, I am outraged and bewildered, unquote. And he probably chased that down with a nice lukewarm shot of wheatgrass juice or whatever the hell he drinks.
They're gross when they're lukewarm.
Then he also said, and now I'm dizzy, and oh, God, is that the sun?
Yeah.
I think I got a paper cut.
So, Mark, the authors of the study, basically what they said is that the evidence that cutting back on red and processed meat to improve your health just isn't good enough for them to endorse. So they're saying, look, a lot of people are trying to say that less red meat and processed meat's better for your health, and you go on all white meat and fish, and people try to link it to the environment or whatever too, but they're saying, hey, for your health, it's not, it's not,
It's inconclusive to how delicious red meat is, they're saying.
right.
Yeah, I'd like to pose this question to them.
It's a delicious to results-based.
You got
Not worth it.
You got a cow, a chicken, and a fish. Who's going to win in a fight? That's the animal I want to eat.
Okay.
The cow.
Yeah, well, the cow would just step on all of them.
Exactly.
Especially if it's on land, the fish has no
Those
chance.
are powers that I get
You
when
would
I
eat
eat
a lot of
every
shark
burger
then,
that
in
I
that
eat.
case.
Yeah, you should eat shark. It's an apex predator.
Right.
That's true.
Also, wait, no, disavow that statement. We probably aren't supposed to say. You're supposed to.
Can't
Whatever.
say that, Hillary Clinton.
2019. All right. Anyways, the internet doesn't seem quite as upset as the medical community about this. There's one guy who's a little upset. Roland Trago. He says, if for no other reason, cut back on red meat for the environment. The water footprint of meat from beef cattle is on average 15,400 M3 over ton versus 300 M3 over ton for chicken. And no one knows what you're saying, Roland.
That guy shits air.
I see he included a link there.
Yeah.
For further reading.
I did not click on the link. Another guy, this is the sentiment of most of the internet. Austin Ashwell says, the great majority of people could just eat less food of whatever they're currently eating and be much better off. Start there. To which Demario Antoine Lightsley responds with what the rest of the internet is feeling about this. Austin Ashwell, I am not eating less.
Yeah.
So
Austin's probably correct, though.
Yeah.
Eat whatever you want in moderation.
Austin is right. Demario is speaking for the people.
Yeah, that's
Demario's also right, but
That's the Danielle Bergoli response, which is, don't tell me what to do,
Right.
even if it's for my own good, I
Yeah.
feel that way about drugs.
That's a good point. And look, I don't know what kind of meat you're supposed to eat, but let's be real. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you need to focus on your diet now, because if you don't, you're going to come out on the other side of this long, long football season looking like an actual slug. You'll lose all your bones from laying on the couch and not working out. You'll gain like 30 pounds of just wing and beer fat, and it'll put you behind the 8-ball next spring. But lucky for you, there's Noom. Noom is an app for your phone that basically acts like a personal assistant for weight loss. You get coaches and groups that check in on you every day to make sure that you're at least paying attention to what you eat and that you're getting enough exercise. Not only that, but psychological help too, to be able to help make healthier choices in stressful situations. They coach you on that. They've got an easy-to-understand nutrition system. Like I said before, it helps you on a mental level to lock in new healthy habits. It's really the future of weight loss management. It's so futuristic that I kind of think my Noom coach may be half robot, but that's another discussion entirely.
Noom is like a less annoying spouse who's no longer attracted to you. You know, she's just nagging you, but it's not annoying.
Right. No, I mean, you got to listen to it. You got to follow the steps.
It's a little happier than that.
You feel guilty.
That's what I'm saying. You get the good without the bad. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah. Take out all the bad stuff about that, and that's Noom. Sign up for your trial today at Noom, Noom.com/hardfactor. Visit Noom.com/hardfactor to start your trial today. That's Noom.com/hardfactor, the last weight loss program you'll ever need.
Yeah, we'll keep you updated on our results. Hey, guys, 14 months in, and we finally have some sponsors that kind of work for us. A gambling political site.
Yeah.
And
we
a
use
weight
it.
loss.
Yep. And I'm using Noom for sure. And I'll, if I lose weight, I'll let you know.
Compulsive gamblers with out-of-control substance and food issues.
Exactly.
Yep. That's us.
Right.
Bring them on. Bring on the sponsors.
All right, round 2 of the news buffet is going to have to be way fast. We got half the
All right,
time.
I got this. A man who was a fugitive in China for the last 17 years was arrested in a cave he was living in. 63-year-old Song Jiang escaped jail back in 2002 where he was being held for trafficking women and children, so good call having him in jail, but he escaped. He's been on the lam ever since, but the Yongsheng police finally received clues about Song's whereabouts about a month ago on their WeChat account, so good thing to have that up and running. Those clues led them to the mountains behind Jiang's hometown in the Yunnan province in southwest China, which is like very uninhabitable and hard to traverse, so they had to actually use drones because they couldn't find him on foot. And the aerial drones confirmed he was likely in a particular cave that had a makeshift steel roof that he built and put on top of the cave and trash littered on the outside like bottles of water and shit. So they went in and got him.
That's where alchemy started in China. That's how he did it.
Oh, yeah? Mm-hmm. According to the police, the man had been living in seclusion for so long that it was difficult for him to communicate with the officers, although I'm sure he was shocked as shit that he was found. And now he's back in jail.
Yeah, well, WeChat, it's easy to find people when the state runs your chat boards. So.
It's true.
Right.
Smart, China. Imagine this, guys. You're driving down the highway with your mother after taking her out for a wonderful meal at her favorite restaurant, Red Lobster. And you're chatting about how delightful the Cheddar Bay biscuits are, and you're about to regale her with a secondhand story you heard about how many calories are in each biscuit. She wouldn't believe it.
This isn't going to end well.
When out of nowhere you hear a high-pitched shriek that quickly turns into a deafening wail. You barely have a moment to register what's happening to your mother in the passenger seat before you notice that she's gone into full-on convulsions.
What happened? The biscuits?
Not the biscuits, Mark. So you pull the car over and you get out and you rush around to the passenger side to tend to your mother when you glance up and you see a 75-foot dick being sucked by Zev Bellinger and Princess Leia at the same time in full high definition.
Oh, man.
Yeah, if this story sounds familiar, guys, then you were probably cruising down I-75 South in Auburn Hills, Michigan on Saturday night, where 2 masked pornography enthusiasts hacked into a computer system that powers a gigantic LED billboard, which they used to share 15 to 20 minutes of their favorite blowjob tape with the world.
That is some sort of prank.
Mm-hmm.
Great prank.
Yeah.
Slow response time.
Just a double lady blowjob porn?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Two mouse, one dong.
This really freaked the community out, guys. One driver told the local TV station WNEM5 that he spotted the billboard and he nearly got into a car accident. And guys, accidents can happen when one is met with such a sudden and unexpected erection.
He tried to drive into the billboard.
He just got
just ripped his clothes off and hit a ramp.
10 cars hit the fucking pole.
He just
drive right in.
I'm coming.
He just felt lightheaded and looked down and said, no. Guys, when police finally arrived on the scene, they watched for a while, then individually went in to get something from their cruisers for about 4 minutes. Then they tried to figure out what to do. They ended up having to call the billboard owner's emergency contact number and eventually having them cut the power to the board altogether. The two suspects are still at large and are facing possible felony burglary charges and potentially attempted murder.
Attempted murder?
Whoa.
I'm sure it just turned into like a drive-in movie theater.
Did you
like
listen?
All the
Yeah.
cars just pulled over.
Yeah, I mean, I heard. Yeah,
At the top of the story, the mom, the convulsions.
What were the cops doing?
No,
They're
that
trying-
was made up.
They're
I
trying
know,
to
it's
like
made up.
shoot the dick out. That was the
Yeah.
shoot the dick. Just shoot the dick like a star at a carnival.
If you shoot the dick, it's just women's mouths with nothing to suck. People stop looking at it.
Call in the rocket
the
launcher.
dick.
We got to
We're gonna-
explode the sun.
We're gonna have to shoot
That's
this
a big
thing.
dick, though.
We're gonna have to shoot this thing into an R rating.
Someone get a shotgun.
Get all those pixels.
God, thank God, guys. The only reports of injuries were pants.
Nice. All right. Now, you might not be able to tell it by looking at me, but from time to time, I get some mean heartburn. And
You don't
from
say.
time to time, I mean at least once a day. I regularly take a generic acid reducer. Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and chew 5 Tums while in misery. And when it's real bad, I go downstairs and wash 2 pills down with some ice-cold milk.
You get up, go downstairs and take more pills with milk?
Yes, I do. It does happen.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not. Actually, that's the sad part.
Maybe you should cut off the red meat, bud.
Maybe. I obviously don't care about the past article.
The cheese fries.
Yeah.
The American spirits.
Yeah. There's a few things.
They're made by Indians.
And it turns out that generic acid reducer that I take has the exact main ingredient, ranitidine. That's the same ingredient in Zantac, the same ingredient that has caused CVS and other pharmacies to pull Zantac and other heartburn medicines that contain ranitidine off their
Jesus.
shelves because they not only work really well at curing heartburn, but they also apparently work really well at giving you cancer.
Jesus, they took them off their shelves.
Off their shelves.
So Wes has
For
just
cancer?
been doing middle of the night cancer runs to the fridge for
Essentially.
Just going
For
out
years.
going out in the back patio, drinking a glass of milk,
2% milk.
crushing some Tums and smoking 3 American spirits before going back to bed.
Yeah, Wes, 2 paths diverged.
Let me
in
tell
a
ya.
snowy meadow.
It works.
What are you gonna do? Cancer,
Well,
heartburn, Wes.
I'm with Wes on that. I think Wes may be in like a quadruple jeopardy situation where he's just like, doing so many risky activities that they all cancel each other out completely.
Yeah, Wes's body's like that horse race game where the little electronic horses are all like going back and forth. He's got 13 problems and none of them takes the lead.
I've convinced myself of a lot of things,
when was the last time you got blood drawn?
It's been a while.
He's so thrown off he can't finish the story.
Yeah. I'm just thinking too hard now.
Yeah.
So add that to the list of the things I regularly ingest that are going to give me cancer. The problem is a nitrosamine impurity, also known as N-something or NDMA, which sounds like a party but is in fact a carcinogen that may increase your chances of cancer. So CVS, like I said, is taking off the shelves, saying they will even give you a refund if you recently purchased products with ranitidine in it.
Can you give me a refund for the cancer?
Mm-hmm.
Or no, like
Are we safe with Tums? Are Tums safe?
Tums are okay.
Cool.
Tums,
Okay.
Prilosec, just anything without ranitidine in it. So look at
No,
the label.
no Zantac.
Yeah, no Zantac.
that's kind of like the Tylenol thing with your liver versus Advil, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm popping a few Tylenol recently too,
Just tossing them on top.
Jesus.
because it has codeine in it.
Okay.
All right.
Helps me sleep through the
Take us-
heartburn.
Take us home, Will.
And finally, Vontez Burfict, Oakland Raider and NFL
glasses help?
linebacker. What'd you say?
So the glasses.
I said, did the glasses help at all?
No, no.
You're still a piece of
Scrolls
shit.
do. They do. I can't tell you take Zantac every night when you're wearing those.
Your Noom account just deletes itself.
That smart guy?
Calls an ambulance.
All right. And finally, Vontez Burfict, Oakland Raider and NFL linebacker who has constantly tried to injure every single person he's tackled for decades, has been suspended for the rest of the year for his dirty hit on Indianapolis Colt tight end Jack Doyle. Did you guys see the hit?
Yeah, it was rough.
Yeah.
Not a clean hit. No.
Not a clean hit, but usually you don't suspend somebody for an entire year for a dirty hit. But what happened was basically Burfict lowered the crown of his helmet into Doyle's head on purpose. Doyle was already down on one knee at the time, which then knocked Doyle's helmet into another player's helmet and scrambled the fuck out of his brain, I'm sure. And the video will be used in referee training videos for years to come as a textbook definition of targeting. I mean,
Would you
he's
say
like,
a perfect definition of targeting?
Ooh, I like
yes,
that.
yes. He left his feet, basically, lowered the head straight into the helmet. I mean, it was as bad as targeting gets, but Burfict will appeal the case. It's unlikely he succeeds, though, because this is his 13th suspension from the NFL, one of the dirtiest hits you could possibly videotape. But it's probably his history and the fact that he taunted the crowd after doing it that really put the icing on the cake.
Ran off the field before he was kicked out of the game because he knew he would be, because he knew what he did, and then he taunted the crowd while the guy was
blowing
just
kisses,
concussed. Yeah, blowing kisses. Yeah.
Won't tase me, bro.
Yeah. So not sure if that appeal is going to work out for him. And that's going to do it for Hard Factor today. Make sure to check out our Facebook page, facebook.com/Hard Factor News. It's growing like crazy, and we're posting full podcast videos on there daily. So you're going to want to check those out. Also, follow us at Hard Factor News on Instagram and Twitter if you don't already. Drop a 5-star review on your favorite podcast app if you like the show. And most importantly, have a great fucking day.
Also, the Soft Corner shirt is back officially, so be sure to get one. If you missed on it last time, it's not going to be around for long.
Yeah.
Nor will Wes.